and welcome to the LightHouse. It's a brand new show here on Lár Television. My name's Thomas Graziano.
And I'm Ciarán O'Brien.
And it's just going to be more of a fun kind of a culture show highlighting arts, food, music, what's happening. You know, it's going to shine a light on your neighborhood. And what's been happening recently was St. Patrick's Day happened a couple weeks ago.
Of course, this was your first one in Ireland, wasn't it?
It was my first one in Ireland. I've only been here since January, and I can tell you that it was much different than any St. Patrick's Day I've ever had to experience in the past. Yeah.
What's the difference?
Well, I mean, it's very, alcohol-centric in the States. You know, it's more of just an excuse to go crazy.
To drink, yeah.
Yeah. But here it was like people were actually seeing like they really cared about their Irish heritage, and the parade in Dublin was breathtaking. I loved it.
It's very busy out in town that day.
Mm-hmm.
I was at a slightly different one down in Wexford and Duncannon, and it's a tight-knit community, and they celebrate together. It's a real nice event, but it's more like there's the priest comes down on his tractor. With like Paddy Estate shamrock glasses.
Oh wow!
And comes down onto a beach. It's a nice little community. It's fun.
Is he the Grand Marshal then?
There's the Grand Marshal at the end, just in the back of a car, like a convertible car.
Yeah.
That's the Grand Marshal.
Real grassroots production.
Yeah, it's very very traditionally Irish, I guess.
Well, they celebrate St. Patrick's Day all over the world. They have parades in like almost every country.
Yeah.
And if you at home, if you have any pictures of your St. Patrick's Day in your neck of the woods, feel free to send it to us. Tweet it at Lár Television on Twitter, and we'd love to see it. We'd love to hear from you. Everybody loves chocolate, and there's no bigger name for it in Ireland than Caffrey's. With Easter quickly coming, and it being the chocolate holiday of the year, they've decorated their entire warehouse with bows, bunnies, and eggs to get everyone a little bit more in the spirit.
This is the Chocolate Warehouse, which is part of Caffrey's. Every Easter we open to the public, Christmas and through the summer for chocolate workshops. So at the moment, obviously it's Easter. We have Easter Bunny coming to visit us, where the children meet the bunny, they get an egg, we put their name onto their egg and chocolate, and then they can enjoy this massive big chocolate shop. From next week on, literally all hell will break loose, which is great. Caffrey's was opened in 1948 by my grandfather, Thomas Caffrey. He was very inventive, a great entrepreneur, and he was very famous for our Caffrey snowball, which is marshmallow covered in milk chocolate and sprinkled in coconut. The Caffrey company is now in its third generation in the Caffrey family, and we operate from a 30,000 square foot factory, and of course we've expanded our range of products, but I think the snowball is the most iconic brand that we have. Unfortunately, my grandfather passed away 3 years ago, and there was an absolute outpour of affection for the Caffrey snowball, and as the Caffrey family didn't realise how much of an iconic brand it is.
Well, after a long day walking around and eating chocolate, I decided to take a load off, and I have a choice between carrots or one of Caffrey's snowballs. I think I'll take the snowball. I heard you're supposed to take big bites, so.
So I'm joined by Michael from Emerald Garrison. Welcome to the show, and of course you're joined by some familiar faces.
Yeah, well thanks for having us first off. So behind me here we have Chewbacca, Darth Vader, Stormtrooper and a Shadow Scout.
And do you dress up yourself at all? No?
I do. I have two costumes myself. I'm Plo Koon, Jedi Master, and I have Clone Commander as well, Gree. So I brought in the helmet and lightsaber as well. So.
And can you tell us a bit about Invasion Ireland itself and what goes on at it?
Yeah, so maybe I'll talk about the Garrison first. Maybe.
Yeah, go ahead.
So the Emerald Garrison, so we're Ireland's longest established Star Wars costuming club. We've got members all over Ireland. So we do a lot of charity events during the year.
Yeah.
So we have a lot of charities that we support. We also do kind of corporate events as well, where we ask the company to make a donation to charity on our behalf.
Yeah.
For the costumes, all the guys make their own costumes.
They're all handmade?
Yes. So within the Garrison, we have people that within the club, we help people do that as well.
Yeah.
So some are made from scratch, like Chewbacca here. Others are made from kits, like the Stormtrooper here.
Yeah.
So you get a bear kit and you have to build it up yourself and kind of shape it to your own kind of body size as well. So it's a lot of work that comes into it as well. It's a fun hobby. It's not a cheap hobby.
Yeah, I'd say so.
So
how much would it be for, say for the trooper?
For Stormtrooper, you'd be looking maybe close to €1,000, once it's fully complete. But I think the kit itself would set you back about €500, and then there's a lot of work that goes into it
after.
Yeah. So it's as I said, it's a fun hobby, but it's not a cheap one.
Yeah, and for the event itself, then what goes on in this Invasion Ireland?
For Invasion Dublin, that's on Maybank Holiday weekend, so 3rd to the 5th. So it coincides with Star Wars Day, so that's May the 4th. Yeah, exactly. So we'll have a lot of things on that weekend. So there'll be a lot of kind of sets and props that have been built by members of the garrison. So we'll have a full-size Hoth set. We have a full-size Jabba the Hutt. Then we have other props that we can bring as well, like we have a full-size Y-wing and a clone tank. We have a throne room as well for the Emperor and Lord Vader.
For himself,
and then we have loads of costumes as well that'll be there on the day. So 30 plus costumes. So we'll have Stormtroopers, Biker Scouts, clones, Jedi, Vader will be there himself, the Emperor. So there'll be a lot of people walking around, and you can get photos taken with them and everything as well. So plus we've got guests coming along as well. So we've a number of guests from the original movies and the prequels.
Any names we can mention?
So we've got Alan Rusko, who played Plo Koon in the first 2 prequel movies.
Yeah.
We've got Brian Muir, who sculpted Darth Vader's helmet. He'll be there. We have Femi Taylor, who plays Ula, one of the slave girls in Jabba's palace. What else have we got? We've got Anthony Forrest, who's a sand trooper in A New Hope. He's the guy who Obi-Wan kind of used his Jedi mind trick on.
Okay, yeah.
So they're just a few. There'll be Will Sliney as well from Cork. He's a comic book artist.
Okay.
He does a lot of work for Star Wars and Marvel as well. So he'll be holding kind of artist classes for kids and stuff like that. So, and we have also, the other thing we have is a Force Training Academy. So kids can go along and be taught the ways of the Force by Jedi and Sith Masters and stuff like that as well. So lots of fun activities for kids. And
did you ever act out any of the iconic scenes or anything?
Well, one or two might happen during the weekend. So we'll probably have the Vader march. So when Vader comes out, he'll be flanked by all TKs behind him. We'll have the Emperor coming out as well. So we also have Wookiees. So Chewbacca will be there. We have his older brother Tarful, who's another foot taller than him.
Yeah.
And we have Muru Muru, who's another Wookiee as well. So three Wookiees.
Yes.
So.
And for more information on...
Yes, so if you want to find out more about Invasion Dublin, you can go to invasion.ie. If you want to find out more about the Emerald Garrison, you can look up our website, which is irelandgarrison.com. We are on Facebook, Emerald Garrison, so you can see all our costumes and sets that we have. We're on Twitter as well, so @Emerald Garrison. And we also have an iPhone and Android app as well, which is free to download, so it'll tell you all the events that we're coming to. So we're going to be busy this year. Last year we attended 72 events. 72. So we've a pretty hectic schedule again for this year. So.
Is it all just in Ireland or?
All over Ireland. So we go to Belfast as well for a number of events. Galway, Cork, Carlow, all kind of small events as well. So Invasion will be probably the biggest events we put on during the year. So in February we had, or start of March we had Invasion Belfast. Which is on a weekend in W5, and so we're coming to Dublin now with the show.
And for the most important date, of course, for the May the 4th.
That's it, yeah, Star Wars Day.
So thanks very much for coming in, Michael, and of course with your famous buddies up here.
Thanks for having us.
So you can find more information at irelandgarrison.com and at Facebook, they're Emerald Garrison, and at Emerald Garrison on Twitter.
Well, thank you for watching our very first episode of The LightHouse. We're so glad you could sit down with us. Hopefully you tune in next week, and we'll leave you with a track off the Stoles' latest project, The Protest Song.
We do it again?
Yeah, because when you say 1, 2, 3, 4...
Sunday night, the weekend's gone, I'm back to where we start. Our lives are empty days, they got no meaning. There must be a better way to make her leave.